These 10 places exist on planet Earth. But no one who sees them for the first time actually believes that. They look too perfect. Too alien. Too impossible. Some have no scientific explanation. Some have been studied for decades and still baffle the researchers who study them. And one of them, the one at number 1, flows in 5 colors simultaneously for exactly 6 weeks a year, and scientists are still arguing about why. These are the top 10 natural places on Earth that genuinely, stubbornly, do not look real. Number 10. Fly Geyser, Nevada, USA. This was not supposed to exist. In 1964, a geothermal energy company drilled a test well in the Nevada desert and then abandoned it. The well was never properly sealed. For the next 60 years, pressurized mineral-rich water began erupting from the ground, and kept erupting. The result is one of the strangest structures on Earth, a constantly growing mound of calcium carbonate, painted in brilliant red and green by thermophilic algae, surrounded by terraced pools of vivid turquoise. It looks like concept art for a science fiction film. It is, by total accident, one of the most beautiful things human beings have ever created, without meaning to. Number 9. The Wave, Arizona, USA. This is sandstone. It is 190 million years old. And it has been shaped by wind and water into something so perfectly fluid, so impossibly smooth, that every photograph of it looks digitally manipulated. The swirling layers of red, orange, and cream are fossilized sand dunes from the Jurassic period, each layer representing decades of ancient desert wind. Only 20 people are allowed to enter this formation per day, and the permit is issued by lottery. The question is not why so many people want to see it. The question is how anything this mathematically beautiful can exist by accident. Number 8. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. 10,582 square kilometers of perfectly flat salt. When a thin layer of rainwater covers the surface after the wet season, this becomes the largest mirror on Earth, reflecting the sky so perfectly that the horizon disappears entirely. Flamingos walk through what appears to be empty sky. Tourists stand on the surface of clouds. The salt flat sits at an altitude of 3,656 meters in the Andes, and it is so flat that NASA uses it to calibrate the altimeters on its Earth observation satellites. When the conditions are right, you cannot tell where the ground ends and the sky begins. Number 7. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park, China. These are real. 3,044 sandstone pillars, the tallest rising 1,080 meters from the valley floor, draped in hanging gardens of subtropical forest, their tops vanishing into low cloud. The designers of Avatar studied photographs of this place for 3 years before creating Pandora, and then essentially reproduced it, pillar for pillar. The geological process that created them took more than 300 million years, the relentless erosion of quartz sandstone by wind, water, and the roots of trees. What remains after 300 million years of destruction is, improbably, one of the most beautiful landscapes on the planet. Number 6. Waitomo Glowworm Caves, New Zealand. You take a boat into a cave. The ceiling of the cave is completely black. And then, your eyes adjust, and you realize the ceiling is not black. The entire vault is covered in tiny blue-green lights, thousands of them, perfectly still, reflecting in the dark water below. You are looking at a galaxy underground. The lights are produced by Arachnocampa luminosa, a species of fungus gnat found only in New Zealand. Each larva hangs silk threads below its glowing body to trap insects attracted by the light. The cave has been glowing like this for the last 2 million years. There are creatures alive right now whose ancestors were producing this light before humans existed. Number 5. Lake Natron, Tanzania. This lake is the color of blood. Its surface temperature reaches 60 degrees Celsius. Its pH is 12, close to that of ammonia. It is one of the most inhospitable bodies of water on Earth, and the calcified remains of animals that die in it become petrified, preserved in their final postures by the alkaline minerals in the water, like statues cast in stone. And yet, lesser flamingos breed here, and only here, 3 million of them, nesting in the middle of a lake that would kill almost anything else. The same alkalinity that calcifies everything else creates a moat that predators cannot cross. The most hostile lake on Earth is also the safest place in Africa for flamingos to raise their young. Number 4. Socotra Island, Yemen. Socotra has been isolated from the African mainland for 6 million years. In that time, its plant life evolved along a completely separate path from the rest of the planet. 37% of its plant species exist nowhere else on Earth. The dragon blood tree, its branches forming perfect geometric umbrellas of silver green, its bark the color of bone, grows only here. The bottle tree stores water in its grotesque swollen trunk. The desert rose looks like something assembled from components that don't belong together. Standing in a Socotra forest is the closest experience available on this planet to standing in an alien ecosystem. Biologists who study it describe it as a Galapagos for plants. Number 3. Pamukkale, Turkey. Translated, the name means cotton castle. And from a distance, this is exactly what it looks like, a hillside of blinding white, terraced into hundreds of natural pools of clear turquoise water, cascading down the mountain in frozen waves. It is entirely natural, calcium carbonate deposited by thermal springs over 17 million years, building the terraces layer by layer like the rings of a tree. The springs emerge at 35 degrees Celsius, warm enough to swim in, perfectly clear. Above the pools, the ancient ruins of Hierapolis, a Roman city built here specifically to be near the waters, overlook a landscape so improbable that the Romans built temples next to it, assuming it had to be divine. Number 2. Lake Hillier, Western Australia. From above, this lake is the precise color of bubblegum-pink. Not pale pink. Not salmon. Bubblegum. Bubble bath pink. It sits directly adjacent to the Southern Ocean, separated by a narrow strip of sand and eucalyptus trees, and from above, the contrast between the deep blue of the ocean and the vivid pink of the lake is so extreme it looks like a color correction error in a photograph. Scientists have proposed multiple explanations: halophilic bacteria, a species of Dunaliella algae, a combination of both. The debate is not settled. What is settled? The pink color remains constant year-round, regardless of weather. The lake looks exactly the same whether viewed in summer or winter, rain or sun. Nobody fully understands why. And here it is. Number 1. Caño Cristales, Colombia. For 50 weeks of every year, this is an ordinary-looking mountain river in the Serranía de la Macarena. Then, for exactly 6 weeks, between September and November, when water levels are precisely right, it transforms. The riverbed explodes in simultaneous colors: brilliant crimson, vivid yellow, electric blue, deep black, and pure white, all flowing together in the same water at the same time. It is called the River of Five Colors. Also, the liquid rainbow. Also, the most beautiful river in the world. The red comes from Macarenia clavidura, an aquatic plant found almost nowhere else on Earth. The other colors come from sand, algae, and the riverbed itself. The conditions for this transformation are so precise: the right altitude, the right water temperature, the right amount of sunlight, that it happens for 6 weeks per year, and only then. For 6 weeks, one river in one remote corner of Colombia becomes the most beautiful waterway on the surface of the planet. And then it stops. And it waits another year to do it again. 10 places. All of them real. All of them on this planet. The wave has been forming for 190 million years. The glowworm caves have been glowing for 2 million. Socotra has been evolving for 6 million. And Caño Cristales waits, every year, for exactly 6 weeks to become impossible again. The Earth is older and stranger and more spectacular than anything we've imagined. If this video sent you searching for flights, hit subscribe. More of the planet's most unbelievable places, every week.